Hey, I'm Max Collins from Eve 6. Come join us in the 360 Lounge. I think this record is going to establish our true identity more, which is, I think we were kind of portrayed as more of an angsty sort of, the whole teen thing was kind of pushed too much on the last record. And we're not that, we're a fun rock band, and we're more lighthearted than that. The second record, Jinx, is such a, prevalent thing, but I think we countered that with just, the desire to do the best we could, obviously we're going to do the best we could, but we really focused and the pressure was there, but I think it became an incentive and made us do the best possible work. The best way for people to understand our band and what we're about is to see us live. It's like you can't get a sense of something through marketing and what's written about a band in a record review. Well, I think the good part is that we didn't have to tour the country for years in a van. We are lucky. I think the bad part is we probably got judged more for that, and people had preconceived notions that we were kind of this young prefab sort of deal. The song On the Roof Again, for me was a new thing because I was kind of telling a story, like a hypothetical story about someone else that I know. And it was, I think, the first time that I've not written about myself, in some experience or situation. And that was really cool. That was fun for me. I'd say the new record is, it's definitely a lot thicker. We kind of experimented with padding it, kind of layering it with other things, keyboards here and there, and probably more guitar parts. And so I think that's the biggest difference. It's still sort of just our basic songs, but we kind of made it a little bigger and a little lusher sounding. We got back in the studio really quick after we got off the road. So when we first started out, we weren't really getting the pressures from the management or from the label because we were, I don't want to say ahead of schedule because we weren't really ahead of schedule, but we weren't lagging, so they weren't really putting the pressure on us. And but we definitely put it on ourselves, and but in a good way though. We never have felt like the pressure as if it's not going to work or it's not going to happen for us. I think that the perception of us on the first record, for the most part, I think it was a good one. I think people thought, oh, wow, that would have been so cool if I was signed in high school. But we did get the few guys that, thought we were sort of a Silverchair or a kid band, which is what we weren't. Our peers, the other bands that we were playing with were 2 or 3 years older than us or something like that. So it really, in our minds, it wasn't really that big of a deal. And I think for the most part, it was more just people thinking, oh, that's, that would be awesome to have a record deal in high school. But we did get the young band thing, which we're hoping to really step away from on this record. I think as far as growth, I think, yeah, different instrumentation and we're still all about writing pop songs, so I don't think we're going to get too crazy with 9-minute, super power ballads.
I think actually one of our strengths is that we didn't try to make it too different. We didn't try to go reinvent the wheel with this new record. I think we just took the good elements of the first record, like, strong lyrics and just good grooves and good pop melodies and just made them better. You know, we just learned so much in 2 years on the road and 2 years of growing up that, you know, it was just, that was the only way we could do it. We didn't want to try to go in any one particular direction. We just took what we know and just did it a lot better. I think in the first couple weeks of just writing and hanging out again and rehearsing, all those fears went away because we're like, you know, no matter what, we're just going to make the best record we can make, whether it's our 10th or our first, you know, it doesn't matter. So that kind of led us through, and we stopped thinking about everything else and just focused on the music. And at the end of the day, we're like, okay, we did it. You know, we're happy with this. And that, you know, so the pressure kind of melted away when we started having fun with it and just creating music because that's what we love to do. Because we didn't know what we were and we didn't know what we wanted and how we wanted to be perceived. It was such a new thing to us that we were just kind of going with the ride. Now, after what we've learned, we've taken more control and, you know, and are showing people the real us more, you know, even more so now. So, you know, I think, you know, we're a band with punk rock roots, and I want that to come across. We definitely got our fair share of criticism that, you know, we're a bunch of kids, we don't know anything, we can't, you know, what we're saying can't be honest or something because we haven't been able to focus it enough or something like that. But it's like, that's the last thing we can try to think about. I mean, I think, you know, as Max always says, you know, you start having real, like, serious, aware emotions with things when you become like around 11 or 12 and start formulating them into ideas. And so if we can express it at that age and people are getting it, then, you know, sorry to all you critics, but fuck off. Right now, I'm still in the middle of this. I'm like smack in the middle of this phase of our career. I'm not trying to think too much about what's the next phase. I just want to, because if we can, the next couple of months, secure things, then we'll be in for the long, or at least I think, for a long ride. So I'm focusing mostly on right now, but it could go anywhere. I mean, that's the great thing about being in a band and being in a band with, you know, three strong, you know, stubborn individuals, but that all respect each other. It's like that leaves, you know, great opportunity for growth, and we're excited to see where it'll go. I don't know.